Hi, Stefano Molea here, San Diego criminal defense lawyer and partner at the law office of David P. Shapiro, where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. So as a criminal defense lawyer watching Will Smith smack Chris Rock, I obviously paid a lot of attention to that, and also to all the commentary about who gets to decide to press charges, how that works, and how big of a deal it was that Chris Rock decided not to file a police report. So in other videos, I've talked about the importance of understanding a very common misconception, which is that the person who is alleged to be a victim is the one who decides whether or not charges are filed or pressed. That's not the case, okay? Ultimately, it's a prosecutor who makes a decision about whether or not to file charges, even if the person who is the alleged victim doesn't want charges to be filed. In this particular case with Will Smith and Chris Rock, there's both sort of a technical side to things and a practical. Again, on the technical side, they don't need Chris Rock to file a complaint, to file charges against Will Smith. All they need is a witness, and there are quite a few witnesses. And they've got a video of it happening. So the evidence is certain there for charges to be filed. So that's the technical side of things, right? Even if Chris Rock doesn't actually want charges to be filed or doesn't file a report, someone else could technically file a report and get the ball rolling. But the practical side of things is a little different, right? Because generally the way things work is a complaint by the alleged victim is filed, right? Meaning a report is made at the appropriate police station. And then that report gets routed internally, potentially to a detective. There is an additional investigation, a report is generated, and then that report gets forwarded to the prosecutor's office. And then an attorney there makes a decision about whether or not to press charges, file a complaint, file charges. We're saying the same thing. So in this particular case, if you don't have that push to get the ball rolling, then it kind of stalls out. But that's more of a practical thing. Technically, they could still file charges against Will Smith if they wanted to. Now, what could they file? Based on what we know now, right? We don't have any information about injuries or anything like that. It just seems like what we'd consider a simple battery under California Penal Code Section 242, okay? It could be worse, potentially, if there's injuries that we don't know about. But does that mean that even if they do file charges, Will Smith is guaranteed to be convicted of a crime? No. And the reason is there is a lot of statutory programs that could essentially lead to a total dismissal of the case, even if the prosecution could, let's say, in theory, prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. So, hope this discussion was helpful. I hope that you're able to use this information to better filter out some of the misconceptions that are put out in the media and the way that things are discussed sort of publicly. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or feel free to give us a call. Stefano Molea here at the law office of David P. Shapiro, 619-295-3555.